In this training session, we will be discussing how you can use Starfish to connect with students and the staff members that make up a student success network. Starfish is an enterprise success platform that Cleveland State utilizes to connect students to faculty, staff, and services at the university committed to their success. Over 40 areas within the university use Starfish. These include task, advising, the library, veteran services, and many others. Nearly 100,000 appointments are actually scheduled in Starfish each academic year by undergraduate students. In fact, 800 hours are saved annually by students scheduling appointments themselves versus via a staff member. Over the course of an academic year, over 60,000 tracking items are raised within Starfish. Hundreds of faculty, undergraduate faculty, use Starfish each academic year to communicate to advisors, take attendance, take notes on students, manage their calendars, make referrals, and much more. All undergraduate faculty members at CSU are actually given access to Starfish each term. In fact, all of their courses and meeting times are entered in the Starfish automatically. Faculty can access Starfish by using Blackboard via the Tools or the Instructor tab in CampusNet. Please note that faculty can only access Starfish once they have actually been linked to your class or their classes within CampusNet. Staff can also access Starfish via the Advisor tab in CampusNet, and students can access it two ways as well, via CampusNet or using Tools and Blackboard. When you log into Starfish, you will see a screen similar to this. This is an overview of all the activity of all students connected to you. To be honest, this home screen can be very overwhelming, so we encourage you to change your default login page to another page that you use more frequently. For example, if you use Starfish to schedule student appointments, you may want to make the appointments page your default page. If you use Starfish to take attendance, you may select that page to be your default page. You can change your default page in your institutional profile. On this overview page, you will find the options button, which are the three lines located at the top left of your screen, and you'll use this to navigate between the various screens within Starfish. You also find a search box which can be used to find the student located at the top right of your screen. You can search using a student's first name, last name, parts of the first name or last name, or their CSU ID number. You have to use at least 3 characters in this search. After you select the Options button, which is the 3-line icon located at the top left of your screen, you will be presented with options, which vary depending on your access and permissions. A few of these options include settings, such as institutional profile, appointment preferences, help, log out. Also appointments, where you manage your office hours and student appointments. Students, where you can see all the students assigned to you, take attendance, complete progress surveys, make referrals, and much more. And then services, where you find a comprehensive list of the many services available to students at Cleveland State University. In this session, we will be learning how to find a student in Starfish, make a note, send an email to a student through Starfish, make a referral, raise a flag or kudo manually, find services and resources, and lastly, finding a student support team, such as an advisor or graduation coach. All right, let's begin. Let's review a few important notes before diving into this session a little bit further. First, never use the message button. We'll discuss this a little further on. Next, send an email to a student via Starfish using a note. Don't use the message button. Notes should be set to shared versus private. It's important to note that shared is the default setting. Lastly, any notes and information in Starfish can be requested by a student, so it's important to think of this as you are writing a note in Starfish. First, it is important to know that you can find a single student by using the dynamic search found at the top right of almost every screen within Starfish. You can also find a single student or group of students using the student screen in Starfish, which is the second area we will be discussing. You can get to this screen in Starfish by selecting the Options button, the 3-lined icon at the top left of the screen, followed by Students, and then My Students. The students you see on this screen depend on the role or course you select in the third area. In this area, you can select a course or role that have been assigned to you. You can also change your term. Once you have selected a connection and term, you can view a list of students. You can view the individual student folder as well by hovering over the student's name and then opening the folder. When you open the student folder, you can see a variety of options to select, which vary depending on your role and permissions. These include courses, tracking, meetings, and notes, as well as network. Additionally, if you need to find the student success team, such as the advisor or graduation coach, you can look in this network area and view those staff members assigned to that student. You can view the student's contact information and photo as well. Once you are done within the student folder, you can select the X at the top right of that folder or that screen, and then you will be taken back to the main student screen. You are encouraged to document interactions, meetings, and important emails between you and a student in Starfish. You can do this by selecting Note after selecting the student using the checkbox on the left side of the screen. You have the ability to select one or more students to enter a note for using the checkbox on the left side of the screen next to the student's name. It is important to note that you should not use the message button in Starfish and only use Note. After you select the Note button, a new screen will appear and you will need to select a note type and enter in your note. A quick reminder, the note sharing should always be set to shared versus private. If you don't want to change anything, just leave it as it is. It should be shared by default. Once you are satisfied with your note, select Submit. Please remember that notes are a part of the student's education record and could be requested in case of a dispute. Before submitting the note, ask yourself whether the language you use would be appropriate to be read out loud in the court of law. You have the ability to email students in Starfish by using the Note button versus Message. To send an email, you will need to select one or more students using the boxes to the left of their names. Then you will select the Note button. You should not use the Message button to send emails to students. Similar to entering in a note, you will need to select the note type. Then the text you enter in the subject line will be included in the subject line of the email you send to a student. You will then type the email you want to send the student in the notes section. You are able to include URLs in your notes. It is important to know that Starfish does not allow you to insert fields into the notes section when emailing multiple students. For example, if you send an email with, "Hi Jason, please attend this event. Best, your faculty member." If you sent this message to all students in your class, then they will all get "Hi Jason" versus having their name inserted automatically. So keep greetings general whenever you're wording an email that you're going to send out to multiple students. Once you're ready, select Submit to send. You can also opt to send a copy to yourself. If students hit reply, it will not be sent back or recorded in Starfish, but will go back to your university email address. When you are ready to send the email, select Submit. You can see if a student viewed your email by going to their student folder, Notes, find the note or email you want to reference, expand the note by selecting the plus sign, view when the message was sent, and then read. This also works if the student has their email set up to forward to another account outside of their university email address. Starfish allows staff and faculty to make referrals to various departments within the university that use Starfish. To do this, you will select one or more students and then the referral button. After you select the referral button, you will then be asked to select a referral. You can select the class, and then it is highly recommended that you enter in a comment or details as to why you are making the referral. There will be an employee that will then receive a referral and reach out to that student. Starfish allows staff and faculty to raise a flag or kudo on a student anytime throughout a semester. To raise a flag, you will select one or more students followed by the flag button. Raising a flag or kudo manually typically happens outside of when a progress survey is active. Flags are normally for when you have a concern about a student, and a kudo is a way to send a positive message to a student within Starfish. After you select the flag button, you will then be asked to select a flag. You can select a class and then enter in a comment or details as to why you are raising the flag. Please note that someone in the student's network will receive this flag or view this flag. Flags really help when the student is meeting with their advisor or other person in the student's network. After you select the kudo button, you will then be asked to select a kudo. You can select a course and then enter a comment or details as to why you are raising the kudo. This is a great tool to use to reinforce good behavior in the student. For example, you might send a kudo to a shy student that offered valuable feedback during a class discussion. Lastly, you are able to find helpful services to students within Starfish. You can find services by selecting the options button at the top left of your screen, followed by services. Here you can find a summary of the service or resource along with contact information. In this training session, we discussed how to find the student in Starfish, how to make a note, send an email to a student through Starfish, make a referral, raise a flag or kudo, find services and resources, and find a student support team or network. This concludes this training session. Please reach out to our Starfish support team if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. We thank you for your time, your use of Starfish, and commitment to student success at Cleveland State University.